Hi everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're Book Buds!
Oh my God.
Mary, it happened.
We had an amazing night together. That sounds so wrong.
We so did. It was so amazing. Mind-blowing. I'll never forget it.
We won't forget it. So we met
TJ Klune. We did it.
It was awesome. He came to New Jersey, so we battled some traffic.
We did.
We bought the book required to sit there and wait for him to dazzle us.
Mary was a rock star. She flew there and got there first and saved
These
seats.
are my seats.
Yeah, and I was battling traffic, and I'm like, oh, she's texting me, I see him. I'm like, where? I'm like, I'm still on the road. That was exciting.
Yeah. When I first set eyes on him, he had just walked in the store and somebody was like looking at his table of books, and he walks up and I couldn't hear what he said, but it was like he was saying like, oh, I think that's a good book, or maybe he was being silly and being like, this book's not very good. I don't know what he was saying, but I was like, they're talking to him. Do they realize it? I realize it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was very exciting. So what we experienced, he came and he talked to us for like an hour. He did a nice little interview with someone, talked all about, mainly he was talking about his most recent re-release of the paperback for In the Lives of Puppets. So he was talking about In the Lives of Puppets, but a lot of commentary just basically on his writing in general.
Yeah.
And then they opened it up for questions. And I loved when he opened it. He said, he's like, come on, New Jersey, like, you know, when I ask for questions, I don't want to see no hands go up in the air.
Don't be shy.
So right away, I'm like, oh, the pressure's on. Like, we had talked ahead of time that we have to have questions ready in case we want to ask them. So, like, I had one in my head, and I was like, I don't want the audience not to raise their hand for TJ Klune. Like,
and then it would be over, and he would just
like,
skip that part.
Anxious for him. I was like, he's amazing, and he deserves questions.
Yeah.
So as soon as he was like, anybody have any questions? I did a quick scan because I didn't want to be like obnoxious, like me. You know.
You waited the appropriate amount of time.
I did. There was a pause.
Yeah.
So I did a quick scan of the room, and I'm like, there's no hands. So I put my hand right up, and I'm like, I'm gonna ask a question.
Yeah.
So I asked a question. Then right after that, Joe asked a question.
So what I wanted to ask you was, were you surprised to hear my voice? Like, were
I
you
was
surprised
thrilled.
that I was asking a question?
No, I was thrilled. I would have been mad if I didn't hear your voice. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
But I would have been mad if you didn't ask a question.
Yeah, I don't like public speaking, so I was nervous, but I did it.
You did a good job.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite part of hearing him talk? Like, what part of his speech?
I don't know. He was just an amazing person to listen to. He's got so much, like, positivity is like his focus, you know? He really wants to be uplifting and open and inclusive and provide something for everyone, and like especially like reach a population of readers that don't feel represented in literature, you know? But like he just exudes kindness.
Yeah.
And he was saying that his 3 books that a lot of people know, the In the Lives of the Puppets, House in the Cerulean Sea, and Under the Whispering Door, while they're not a trilogy and they're not related to each other, in his mind, they're the kindness trilogy.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because that was his goal, to like really have, and like you can feel it in the book. When you're emotionally engaged in his book, you feel really good while reading those books.
Yeah.
So I get that vibe that he was talking about. I hadn't known that he referred to it that way.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, I loved hearing about the books and the future projects and just like little things that like we don't often get to hear about. But the thing that stuck with me most is that he said, you know, my parents hated me.
Yeah.
And it was like very emotional. I was just like, oh my God. So like, you know, he's gay, and I guess his parents like just didn't really like that, and they didn't like that he had ADHD, and you know, he hasn't, you know, had a relationship with his parents in a long time.
They didn't like that he was a writer. They didn't like that like anything he was interested in, they didn't like. So he said, the things that bring me joy, they didn't like. And that was sad.
It was like heart-wrenching. I was like, oh my God, this poor man.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when thinking about that after, you know, reading some of his books, it's like, yeah, this man has experienced so much pain and loss, you know, other things as well, and like you can tell.
Yeah.
But like his books are like not like downtrodden, you know, like they always have that, like you said, like positivity mixed in as well.
Yeah.
But without pain, you know, you need some sort of pain to have a good story or a book.
To have the balance,
Right,
so you can appreciate the happiness, right?
Yeah. But that was like, oof, that hurt me.
Yeah. We actually have a little clip from him speaking, and that I hope he's not mad if we put out there for you guys. I think it has a beautiful message about what he hopes people get from reading the book, and about like the hate that's in the world and how we can have more kindness in the world. So listen to TJ Klune a minute, guys.
And I want people to remember that there is so much good out there in the world, that there is so much good people, because the one thing I've learned in my life is that people love very quietly, but they hate loudly. They hate so loud, and that's all you hear sometimes. So I've learned to turn down the hate, not turn off the hate, because I think ignoring it completely is a dangerous road to go down. But at the same time, I take care of myself, and I take care of my people, and I take care of, my little corner of the world, because the best thing I can do with the life I've been given is try to make the world a better place. And that's what I hope people walk away from my books thinking about, that maybe they don't need to change their whole lives, because please don't do that after you've read one of my books. That's weird. Just kind of, think about how you interact with people.
Wow, how powerful was that? Like, it's just so inspirational that, like, you can make a difference. Like, in your little corner of the world, like he said, as long as you just keep it going, like, you can actually make a difference. And he's doing something so positive with the platform he's been given, his talent to reach millions.
Yeah, and like his message was like, you guys can just do this in your small little circle. He does it in his small circle, but then with his books, he's reaching so far with spreading so much, like, just happy vibes to people.
Incredible.
We love him so much, guys.
We do. Even more now.
So
even more.
When we were there, I think we were all like vibrating, like with the nervousness, the excitement, and especially like after he signed our books and we each had our moment with him, like individually. We had another friend there also. We each went one by one, signed the books, had a little chat with him. And then after it was all done, we were like, we couldn't even leave the store. We were like, oh my God, did you do this?
Yeah, it's so exciting. I felt like I met a big time celebrity.
I know.
I was that excited, that level.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk about the questions that we asked?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you go first. What question did you ask?
So I asked him about humor, because before we read TJ Klune, I really don't think I ever laughed out loud for a book. Maybe once or twice, Yeah. But every single one of his books, I laugh out loud. You will audibly hear something come out of my mouth because he's that funny.
I told him that.
Good.
And he was like, thank you for saying that.
Yeah. So like some of them it's just a little bit of laughing, and others you're cracking up so hard. So my question to him was that, he has all this humor in his books. Does he have a lot of humor in his life? Because I'm thinking, like, if he's hanging out with people, he must be a riot, But that wasn't the answer that he gave. He said that he prefers like a more solitary lifestyle. He likes having peace and quiet in his personal life, but when he's needing that happiness, when he needs like a lift for his mental health, he needs to put laughter into the books, because then he enjoys that humor as he's writing it, and it's uplifting to him without having to go and get it like in a social way or something like that. So he said that like it brings him joy, and then knowing that that's out there in his book to go to the rest of the world, that he's bringing that joy to us and sharing it with us. It was like really cool.
Yeah, that was a great question.
And he thanked me for my question.
Yep.
He was so nice.
Yes. So then I asked him.
Wait.
Oh yeah. We got to show the clip.
I wanted to tell you guys something funny that because he is funny. So even though he's like making it sound like he doesn't have a lot of humor in his life, he was funny through all the stuff he was saying. So there was one time during his presentation that he was talking about the difference between writing a novella and a book. And he said it's so much harder to write a novella because you don't have that many words, and you've got to get like a good, meaningful story into it. So it's a lot of hard work. And he actually wrote us a new novella that was in the book that we purchased last night to be able to attend the signing. So in The Lives of Puppets, at the end, brand new novella, and he's like, it's my best work.
Yeah, of course.
Because he had to work so hard to make this really nice short story. But when he was talking about it, he was funny. So here's what he said.
Because I am very verbose. I like every word that I've ever had in my mouth. It's wonderful. I love speaking, I love writing, and I love putting as many words as possible into very long books. So I wanted to challenge myself to tell a story in 10,000 words. And reduce, reuse, recycle is that story. And on it, to me, it contains some of the best writing I've ever done. I love this short story. I hope you love it too.
All right, so if you guys want to check out that new story, be sure to pick up the new paperback edition of In the Lives of Puppets.
And we should have had it here with us today. And I looked at Joe, I'm like, do you have your book?
No.
Because we both left them like at home on the
Safe.
shelf.
It's signed now.
I'm
you
like,
can't mess around.
nobody touch it.
In the dirt? No.
I took pictures of the signing, so we'll put pictures here for you guys. But like, no.
Yeah.
The spine of this book is gorgeous.
Yeah.
We'll show a picture too with all the
Painted
gears
edges.
that's on it.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So sorry we're not showing you, but yeah. So if you get that version of it, you'll find the new little short story that he wrote in the back there.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the question that you asked him?
Yes. So I'm into all of his audiobooks now. I'm listening to so many. So I just wanted to ask him, how does he go about choosing his narrators for his audiobooks? Because the one guy who did the Verania series, Michael Leslie, he should have won an award for that. I don't know if there are awards for audiobooks, but there should be, and he should win one.
Yeah.
So he was happy that I asked that question, and he's from like the indie publishing world, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just hit it big a couple of years ago. So he was saying that Michael Leslie, the one who did the Verania series, and Kurt Graves, who did a few of his others, and some other man that I don't remember the name of, they all like kind of like worked together in their past, right? In the indie publishing world.
Yeah.
So when he hit it big, like he had suggestions on who to use, and like he knew these really talented people, and so he kind of like brought them
Along with him. Yeah, and the publishing company was like, let's see him. So he's been able to continue to use these really great people.
Yeah, which is awesome. And I love how he, because we read all of his past books, so he was like really excited that like we mentioned these like older kind of rare books, like the Verania series, Lightning Struck Hard, and Murmuration. I had him sign Murmuration, which is one of my favorite, probably my favorite book by him, and he was like, look at you with this book. I'm like, yeah.
Everybody there was like me. We just had the ones that were being sold in the store pretty much, right? And I read ebooks, so I don't have all these at home.
Yeah.
Joe, he's got a collection going. So when he saw Murmuration,
he was excited.
Yeah. And tell him what he wrote in it. Do you remember?
Yes, he wrote, you have good taste in books. Well, thank you.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
He was really cute when he was signing books. Like if there was a circle in the title, he would put like a little smiley face in it, or two circles, he put like dots for eyes and a smile.
Yeah.
It was cute. He's just got a great personality.
He's just fun.
Lots of fun joy that he shares with us.
Big kid, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's cool.
Awesome.
We
so
love him.
Is there more we want to like gush about? We feel like total dorks right now. We're so excited about him.
I mean, it was just awesome. He was talking about his sequel to Cerulean Sea coming out in September.
Definitely talk about that.
And it sounds awesome. So the new character is going to be a Yeti.
His
named
name's David.
And he and Lucy are going to have some sort of like friendship, but it sounds like it might get a little rocky. I don't know.
Right. Like they're going to have some difference of opinions about what's appropriate and what's not.
Right.
What's acceptable behavior.
Yep.
And it's called Beyond the Sea.
Yes.
And everybody loves Chauncey, the character Chauncey from House in the Cerulean Sea, and he's going to be a lot in this next book, which is exciting.
Yes.
And it's written from Arthur's perspective. So he said he started out writing it from Linus's perspective, which is what Cerulean Sea was.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't gelling for him, so this one is written from Arthur's perspective. So
that's his style. He switches narrators, which is amazing.
Yeah. I'm glad he found it like what was working and went with it. And it's coming out September 10th. And
I can't wait for all the promo and all the fun posts and everything. Hopefully he comes back to this area and we can go again and bring more of my books.
We tried to treat him nicely so that he'll come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had never been to New Jersey before.
I know.
He's like, it's just what I thought. There's other humans walking around living life. That's funny.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
He is. So one other thing he said was that when Cerulean Sea came out, it was March 17th, 2020, the day that everything shut down.
Poor guy.
And then when it came out, maybe like in paperback or something like that, there was, I don't remember the date, but some other disaster happened. And he's like, oh my God. So when Beyond the Sea comes out, he's like, if anything bad happens, it's not my fault.
Yeah, right.
So can you imagine what a day to have your book released, March 17th, 2020? Well, I'll remember that date for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he
such
did
a success.
it. Everybody loves it.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we should share some of our favorite TJ Klune reads, just in case folks are watching us like babble about him and you haven't actually read him yet.
Yes.
So my top picks are ones that are very visible, like, and available right now. My number one is House in the Cerulean Sea. Absolutely. It's like my number one of all books. So I really, really recommend that one.
It's great.
Then I next recommend Under the Whispering Door. It was the second one I read, and it was also really wonderful. Lots of like emotional reactions to the book, and still laughing. Just really wonderful and unique. And then my third recommendation would be Wolf Song, which there was like so much intense emotion in that one too, and just a really great story.
Yes.
So those are more available. They're like they've been reprinted, and like Wolf Song was reprinted, and the other two came out directly from that publisher, I think. So you can definitely find them in your library or at Barnes and Noble. How about you?
And mine are 3 lesser known. They're all available on audiobooks as well as Amazon if you want the physical copy. My top favorite is Murmuration, set in the 1950s, and it's kind of like sci-fi-ish. Love it. Not going to give any more details because I can't.
It's good. There's like, can we just say, like, I think we did a video that talked about it a little bit, and we said that, like, you know, you're going along in the book and you feel like there's a little bit of a strangeness happening in this little town, and you're like, what's off? And then you're kind of like, oh, as you're going through the book. So we don't really want to say more about that because you got to, you know, do the journey. It's really good though.
So good.
Yeah.
And then the next one I would say would be Into This River I Drown.
Good one.
So good.
Yep. He wrote that one when he was grieving the loss of his father.
Yes.
So there's definite grief in the story, but it's beautiful, very moving.
And this is the angel, correct?
There's an angel that fell
from
the sky, and so
Which
the
is
man
amazing.
in the book develops this relationship with the angel, and that was like just really special.
All the fantasy elements. I love it.
Yeah.
And then the last I would recommend, which this is an unofficial trilogy in my mind because I read them all in a row, and like to me they're kind of related
You clustered
in
them.
my little mind.
Yeah.
It is, help me, The Bones Beneath My Skin. Artemis Darth Vader.
It's the little kid that has like picked their own name, Artemis Darth Vader. And again, it's one of those books where you're like, something's odd here.
Right.
And we're not going to tell you what it is, but something's odd with this kid.
Yep.
And it takes you to a place that you weren't realizing it was going to go.
She's not what you think.
Yeah.
Pick it up now.
Really special relationship in that book. Yeah.
I want to reread it.
Yeah, after seeing him last night, I was like, we need to reread everything. I want to listen to everything on audiobook. I want to reread everything in text. I'm like, I want to experience it all.
Yeah.
He's just so wonderful. So we have a really exciting way to sign out, guys. Let us know what you think about it.
If you're enjoying Book Buds, give us a thumbs up.
And share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel. Book Buds!
I love my Book Buds.
He did it with us.
I know. TJ Klune said Book Buds.
Oh my God.
Can you guys believe it?
We could die.
It's like he knows us. Did you see we were touching him? We touched him.
We're very excited.
And he said Book Buds. It's like he knows us.
He knows us. Oh.